Hi guys, so once again we are back to the platform and today we are going for another exclusive session which will save our time and will give you the first hand idea about the most important dramas. As you can see it on the board, 30 best plays of all time. So preparing for UGC NET English exam is close. We have limited time and this is the time we have to revise all important things. In this list, I have chosen this particular list on the basis of questions asked in currently last 2 years exams. So I've taken NET, SET, then we went for maximum questions asked from these dramas. We made a list of it. Once again, I'll tell you all in Hindi. पिछले 2 सालों में नेट और सेट में जो ड्रामा से क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं उनको हमने सेलेक्ट करके एक पीपीटी तैयार की है ताकि आपकी हेल्प हो सके. अगर आपने रिवाइज कर लिया है तो बहुत बेहतर, अगर रिवाइज नहीं किया है तो अभी भी टाइम है, डोंट फॉरगेट इट. सो लेट्स गो, विल सेव टाइम. We start with the first one, and all the students who want to come for offline classes, this is the address. You can save the address also. Now, the first one and the most important one is Hamlet. Why Hamlet? Why not Macbeth, Tempest, King Lear, As You Like It, or other works? Hamlet has been studied from various point of views. Hamlet is also a text which is taken by T.S. Eliot as a text dealing with the idea of फेलियर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव कोरिलेटिव. हैमलेट का जो कैरेक्टर है वो टीएस एलियट की स्टडी का पार्ट है. देन एडिपस कॉम्प्लेक्स का पार्ट है. इट इज सेड दैट हैमलेट वाज नॉट टेकिंग रिवेंज बिकॉज हिज अंकल क्लॉडियस ग्रेटिफाइड हिज डिजायर ऑफ मैरिंग हिज ओन मदर. बहुत कम स्टूडेंट्स को पता होगा सिगमंड फ्रॉइड्स आइडिया ऑफ एडिपस कॉम्प्लेक्स विच वाज एक्चुअली properly decorated in Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. This was actually also applied in Hamlet. But yes, Shakespeare didn't know that. So please don't forget Hamlet. इसमें ये भी मत भूलना that Hamlet, Horatio, Claudius, then Polonius, Laertes, and some important character. They can ask you a question that in Hamlet, who is Shakespeare's mouthpiece? Polonius. All the good quotations are by Polonius. Plus, the role of woman, Gertrude. Remember this thing. Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, she doesn't defend herself in a proper way. She has been called a villain, a witch, a female villain. Canadian writer Margaret Atwood, she wrote a famous book, Gertrude Talks Back, which was a feminist study of Hamlet. Then, when Hamlet is almost dead, he's dying, he talks to Horatio and he says, Horatio, I am dead. This is a question that has been asked in NET exam. When he says, Horatio, I'm dead. I have taught this thing to my online, offline students in a proper way. This is your homework. What is the name of that literary device where Hamlet says, Horatio, I'm dead? Your time starts now. और I'm sure किसी को prolapsus याद नहीं आ रहा होगा. आ रहा होगा तो कमेंट में बताना. Second book we have is by American writer. This American writer, Eugene O'Neill, as I have taught you this thing in the class also. 4 Pulitzer Award winner, Anna Christie, Beyond the Horizon, Long Day Journey into the Night, and Strange Interlude. आपको चारों किताबों के नाम लिखवाए हैं मैंने. I made you write the name of those books. 4 Pulitzer Award. One of those books is this, Long Day Journey into the Night. What you have to do is either you read the story now. If you have not read, I suggest you. All you have to do is just go for a simple reading, a summary reading. Take the reference of Spark Notes. Focus on the theme. Eugene O'Neill was known for dealing with human relations. So this is an important story. इसको जरूर देखना. Then the next in my list is your all-time favorite. Multiple times we have talked about this thing. Edward Albee's Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I made you write the names also. I told you the last line. Who is afraid of Virginia Woolf? I am. The famous last line. This book also deals with success myth. So just remember the couple, Martha and George, they play games. They play games with their neighbors and they imagine that they have a child. What is the concept of success myth? What is the last line and how it is connected to Virginia Woolf? That's an important thing. Give at least 5 minutes to this book. Once again from Americans, if you have not read this, if you are in coaching class और अगर आपको किसी ने नहीं पढ़ाया है, it's a blunder. Please remember there are multiple questions asked. the name of the salesman. Who is the salesman? Willie Loman. Plus, what is the name of the wife? Linda. Then comes two sons, Biff and Happy. Question exam में आया था. Biff and Happy are compared to. So they are compared to Venus and Hercules. ये याद कर लेना. Happy is compared to Venus. Biff is compared to Hercules. How this man, Willie Loman, he dies. What is the reference of his death and how it is also called an American tragedy. American dream turning into American tragedy. World classic है, बहुत important है, जरूर पढ़ना है. Grecian writer coming from the ancient literature, Oedipus Rex. Yes, the simple story is the idea of Oedipus complex is generated from this book. Sophocles wrote 107 Greek tragedies. इनकी 107 tragedies हैं, but सिर्फ 7 बची हैं, बाकी सब गायब हो गई हैं. Sometimes I say this thing in my class कि luckily only 7 are surviving, rest all are finished. See what happens here. We have a king and he has a kid. Then there is a prophecy. Tiresias does a prophecy that this son will be the reason of father's killing and the son will have incest with mother. So they throw the son is found by someone else. Then the son becomes a king, the war takes place, he kills his own father, has incest with his own mother. When the story starts, he is telling the people that don't worry, I will protect you. My land has been cursed. Tiresias comes and tells that you yourself are the reason of your land which has been cursed, which is the part of dramatic irony. This book also deals with the breaking of fourth wall. Important है, समरी पढ़नी है आपको. लाइस, जोकास्टा, इनके नाम पढ़ने हैं कुछ कैरेक्टर्स के. इसके अलावा इसमें और कुछ नहीं पढ़ना. बट वन मोर थिंग, रिमेंबर ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स, गूगल ड्राइव ऑफलाइन बैच, द रिडल ऑफ स्फिंक्स अपीयर्स इन दिस बुक. व्हाट इज द रिडल ऑफ द स्फिंक्स? एक पहेली आती है, स्फिंक्स की पहेली. द रिडल ऑफ द स्फिंक्स इज, व्हाट इज दैट एनिमल दैट वॉक्स ऑन 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, 3 legs in the evening? Homework for you. बताइए, कमेंट्स में बताना कौन है. और जिसने नहीं पढ़ा है पढ़ लो क्योंकि ये सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हमने क्लासेस में करवाए हुए हैं. ये सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को हमने पहले करवा दिए हैं. नेक्स्ट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क, लाइसिस्ट्राटा बाय एरिस्टोफेन्स. Now see, I taught you this that the Greek writers didn't like comedy, right? Aristophanes is a comedian and this was the reason that Euripides, the writer of Medea, used to hate him. Lysistrata is one of the greatest works written by Aristophanes. Though it deals with comic reference, it has Peloponnesian War. But what makes this book important? The first book that deals with sex war. What is that sex war? All the men are going for war. Women, they don't want their husbands, their brothers, their lovers to go to war. So they try to stop. But the husbands, lovers are not listening. So all the female, they make a group. Calonis is an important character, Calonis. They make a plan and make a group that if our husbands and our lovers, they do not listen to us and they go to war, we will stop loving them. We will not let them touch us. We will not serve them. We will not give any sexual favors. Or in short, it's a kind of strike. All the female make a group which results all the men. They say we don't need women. So men a group, a woman a different group. First ever sex war, gender war. It's an important work. इसको जरूर पढ़ना. और अगर सिर्फ कहानी पढ़ी है लेकिन इस तरह से नहीं पढ़ा है जेंडर वॉर तरीके से, that will be a risky thing, guys. This is again a very important work. Tennessee Williams, The Glass Menagerie, बहुत important work है. All you have to understand is how a family, a very poor family, lives in an apartment. मैंने क्लास में जब ये पढ़ाया था तो मैंने ये भी बताया था that the husband of this woman, he leaves them with a note. एक लेटर लिखता है और लेटर में सिर्फ 2 शब्द लिखता है. He leaves his wife by writing a letter and writes only 2 words in that letter. What are those words? Again, your homework. Offline, Google Drive and online. I have talked about those 2 words. In fact, I told you, using those 2 words, somebody has written a book. It is the story of Amanda, Tom, Laura, how a mother, a single mother, wants her daughter to be married, how a person comes flirts with the daughter, and then the surprising end. What is the importance of the telephone and the kitchen in the house? It's a very small house. So it's a must read story. ये जरूर पढ़ना है, बहुत important है. Then Raisin in the Sun, one of the greatest work ever written by an Afro-American writer. Questions have been asked. Raisin is, this is a dry fruit. How that dry fruit, it's squeezed, the juice is taken away, and the skin is like, we can say wrinkled. The message is that we Africans are the raisins in the sun. It's a must-read story. They can ask you a question that has already been asked in exam. In Raisin in the Sun, who is the raisin? The native Africans. Must-read story hai, jarur padhna hai aapko. It's a story about a black woman. Then trial. Imagine this thing that all of a sudden you are taken in a custody. You are taken to the court. The court is in the parking area, parking lot. It is dirty, muddy. It's filled with the dirty water. There are a lot of people talking. You don't know who is the judge. But then they say that death punishment has been given to you. You are okay with that. You don't care. Then they take you to a stone quarry. And when they are getting ready to kill you with a knife, all you are thinking is, who is that man looking at me? When they stab you, you say, like a dog. No story, no hero, nothing. Yes, we are talking about the trial, French Kafka, absurd literature work. हीरो को बिना बात के पकड़ लेते हैं, कोर्ट में लेके जाते हैं. कोर्ट है पार्किंग की एक गंदी जगह पे. कोई पता नहीं जज कौन है, वकील कौन है. कोर्ट कहता है जान से मार दो. Question of net exam. In the trial, the character, where does he get killed? Stone quarry. Stone quarry में उसको मारते हैं जहां पे पत्थर वगैरह होते हैं. And when he is stabbed, the last word of that man is like a dog. It's a very important story. आपको जरूर देखना है. Then the next one we have is Waiting for Godot. Once again, two important characters talking to each other. Estragon, Vladimir, they talk to each other. Remember in my offline batch, I asked you a question also that in the opening scene, a character is tying the shoe. What is the name of that character? Again, a question for you. Write it in the comments. Now tell me this. Have you ever imagined two characters talking about something and not doing anything else? This book is all about that. Both of these characters are waiting for the arrival of some Mr. Godot. Godot will come. Yes, he will come. Godot has promised to come. Godot is never late. Godot will come. But nobody comes at the end and we do not know who is Godot. But yes, there are two characters, Lucky and Pozo, representing James Joyce and Samuel Beckett with a small kid also, representing the innocence and the Christ. These characters are there. There is a line for Waiting for Godot. Nothing happens twice, because actually everything is happening twice. It's a very important work, absurd work. When Samuel Beckett was questioned, because he's a Nobel awardee, so when he won the Nobel Award and he was questioned that who is Godot, he said, even I don't know who is Godot. So it's a must-read book. Please remember this thing, the names of character, Estragon, Vladimir, ये जरूर पढ़ना है आपको. The students who are planning to come for offline batch, जिनको offline classes पढ़नी है, अभी तक जितनी books बताई हैं, in depth पढ़ना है, with their theoretical point of views, with an exclusive study of those concepts, come for offline batch. दिल्ली में आके पढ़ना, एक crowd के बीच में बैठ के पढ़ना, अलग मजा होगा. And if you cannot come to Delhi, but you want same class at home, 6 hour per day class, regular class, then you can join our Google Drive. Offline classes and Google Drive classes are same. Then you can be the part of these things. 25th June will start the class. And you can contact us on given numbers. The numbers are flashed on your screen also. The Bard Soprano, once again, the absurd work. See, primarily, Eugene Ionesco has also written a greatest work, Rhinoceros. I'll suggest you read Rhinoceros also for exam purposes. But here, when you read this, it is a French classic. It deals with language issues, it deals with identity crisis and the confused state of surroundings. It is again an absurd story. Try to read it. If you can understand, try to do that. एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड है, अदरवाइज आई वुड हैव गिवन यू कंप्लीट स्टोरी, आई वुड हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड इट, बट एग्जाम टाइम इज देयर, वी हैव काउंटेड आवर्स, बहुत ज्यादा समय नहीं है, सो आई वांट टू सेव योर टाइम, दैट्स द रीजन आई एम नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्लेन अ लॉट ऑफ अदर स्टोरीज। अदरवाइज बताने के लिए हैमलेट में बहुत कुछ था, कोटेशंस के साथ बहुत कुछ था, बट कोई बात नहीं, कम समय में खास बात। Look back in anger, John Osborne. This man is connected to two types of groups. Angry young men movement. So first angry young men movement, writers who started writing about late capitalism. The idea of late capitalism was given by postmodern writer Frederick Jameson. जो डेवलपमेंट होना चाहिए था, वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 की वजह से डेवलपमेंट रुक गया, सो दैट डेवलपमेंट स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग आफ्टर 1950s, तो उसके टाइमिंग को बोलते हैं लेट कैपिटलिज्म। Amir Garib issue. Remember my Marxist lecture, Karl Marx and all, where I taught you dialectical materialism, conspicuous consumption, commodification, reflectionism, reification, superstructure, base concept. Yes, it deals with class struggle. Our hero, Jimmy Porter, is from a middle class family, but his wife Ellison is from rich class. Whenever he feels angry with the rich class, he hates his wife, he takes revenge from his wife, but they are lovers. So Bee and the Squirrel game, that's also the Bear and the Squirrel game is a part of it. It's very important. Look back in anger has a reference, a connection with Khali. What do you call it? Khali. कौन है वो Avenger movie का खली? Hulk. Sorry. इंडिया में मुझे खली याद है क्योंकि खली को मिला था जोधपुर में. Hulk. Why? Avengers. You must have watched the movie Avengers. When they come for a fight, they say, "Are you angry?" He says, "I'm always angry." Look back in anger means he looks sober and calm, but when he turns his face, he is angry. It's an important work. बहुत अच्छा work है. UPSC में भी पढ़ाता हूँ इसको मैं. That's a part of UPSC syllabus. Story of a woman, Hedda Gabler, a strong woman. Must read story है. इसके लिए सिर्फ इतना suggestion करूँगा. Read this story. इसको ignore मत करना. Along with this, Doll's House. Doll's House, Hedda Gabler, both are very important story. They both have strong female character. Doll's House में भी और Hedda Gabler में भी. One of the best female character has been, developed by Henrik Ibsen. Don't forget to read it. The birthday party, a person kind of named Stanley gets kidnapped by two people, Goldberg and Mackin, and he lives in the house of a old age couple. Then they drag him away. The old couple are not concerned, and when they are dragging him away for no reasons, the woman says, "Listen, Stan, don't let them tell you what to do." The last line. Please remember the last line. बहुत important last line है. जो old lady होती है वो कहती है, "Listen, Stan, don't let them tell you what to do." Then once again, French Kafka, metamorphosis, absurd existential play. Gregor Samsa, a salesman, sleeps in the night. When he wakes up, he is totally a changed person. He is a bug. A कीड़ा बन जाता है, insect बन जाता है. Question of net exam. Why early morning? Gregor Samsa was not able to wake up and get up because he became an insect. Have you seen a cockroach turned down? Then cockroach legs are in the sky. He's not able to, get back just like that. Story of Gregor Samsa, greed and other things. It's a very important story and a symbolic question. How Gregor Samsa dies. He actually doesn't die. He just leaves his room, goes to a tree, joins the insect life, insect world. One of the finest work. The anti-feminist play, Blitz Spirit, written in 1941, 5 days, deals with a writer, his wife, then one lady dies, soul comes, another lady dies, two souls come. It's a funny story. I have taught this thing in offline, Google Drive, online. बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ाया मैंने. इसका रेफरेंस भी पढ़ाया मैंने आपको. आपको पता है मैंने कहाँ पे भी पढ़ाया है? When I teach you P.B. Shelley, when you read to a skylark, the opening line of the skylark, "Hail to thee, Blitz Spirit." There I have taught you this thing. That Blitz Spirit, the title taken by Noel Coward, the lines were taken from, the title was taken from P.B. Shelley's To a Skylark, which is a question of net exam. It is an anti-feminist play, so please remember, don't forget this work. Cherry Orchard. Recently there was a question. All you have to understand, our big Russian family, they are planning to sell their garden. You just have to remember the most important names. Lopakin, जो कि वहां पे गार्डन बेचने के लिए ही इज प्लेइंग द रोल ऑफ द ब्रोकर, जो वहां पर एक तरीके से उसका दलाल है. तो ब्रोकर लोपकिन who actually wants to buy it, and the old man first who dies in the garden because his entire life was lived in the garden only. Question of net exam: who dies at the end of the story? It is all about a garden. Who is trying to buy the story, buy the garden, and who is the broker? So don't forget, check this and then check out Cherry Orchard. Must read. Was this the face that launched thousands of ships and burned the topless stars of Ilium? Sweet Helen, make me immortal with thy kiss. She kisses him. My soul goes forth, all is base, which is not Helena. Yes, Dr. Faustus. Please remember this thing. Mephistopheles, how he appears. Who calls Mephistopheles? Dr. Faustus doesn't call him. He himself comes. When Mephistopheles comes, how? He says that you have to sign the bond by cutting your wrist. What happens when Faustus cuts his wrist? जब अपनी कलाई काटता है, blood comes out, and then there are some Latin phrase, homofuse. What does that mean? ये याद कर लेना, you know that, right? Then, when Faustus is trying to read and think, what does Mephistopheles do to divert his attention? He calls 7 deadly sins. Then, what is the last chorus song? It's very important. No need to tell you कि Faustus कैसे पढ़ना है. Then comes the Duchess of Malfi. Cover her face, she died young, mine eyes dazzle. Connection of Duchess of Malfi and the younger brother, it's very important. There are two brothers, Cardinal and Ferdinand. Ferdinand and Duchess were twins. They were twins. So their bodies were attached when they were born. What is the connection of Ferdinand and Duchess, and how the idea of incest plus possessiveness is developed in the story? It is a must read. Please don't forget the most important character, Bosola. Arms and the Man, one of the greatest work written by G.B. Shaw, talking about the chocolate cream soldier concept. किस book में chocolate cream soldier concept आता है? इसमें आता है. Name of character, Bluntschli. G.B. Shaw's most beautiful character ever developed, a female character, Raina Petkoff. Must read story है, बहुत अच्छी कहानी है. Please don't forget this. Question आ चुके हैं पहले भी. This is Google Drive information, जो मैंने आपको बताया था कि जो बच्चे ऑफलाइन में अगर दिल्ली नहीं आ सकते हैं लेकिन ऑफलाइन की क्लास चाहिए, डिटेल में क्लास चाहिए, बहुत अच्छे से चाहिए, फोकसिंग ऑन ईच एंड एवरी माइन्यूट थिंग, तो अगर आप दिल्ली नहीं आ सकते हैं तो यू कैन गेट गूगल ड्राइव क्लास. इसमें आपको एक बेनिफिट भी रहेगा. इसकी सब्सक्रिप्शन आपको 12 मंथ्स की मिलेगी, 12 महीने की. 6 महीने के साथ 6 महीने फ्री. यानी यू विल गेट 1 कंप्लीट ऑफलाइन बैच, यू विल गेट अनदर कंप्लीट ऑफलाइन बैच. तो आपको ये मेंबरशिप का फायदा है. यू कैन सी ऑल दीज थिंग्स. To get in touch with me for these things, you have the number on your screen. आपकी स्क्रीन पे नंबर है, आप उसे कोऑर्डिनेट कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये बताओ, who are these people? Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The line has been taken from Hamlet. But who are these people? Now see this thing. Tom Stoppard has also written the famous works like India Inc. Then he has written Shakespeare in Love, which was converted to a movie. But then he also goes for an abjadist work dealing with Shakespearean studies. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern is one of the finest work that is written by Tom Stoppard. But please don't forget, you have to focus on India Inc. and Shakespeare in Love, only title purpose. No need to go in the depth of it. Do not forget these characters taken from Hamlet. They both were spies. दोनों Hamlet की जासूसी करते हैं. ऑफलाइन गूगल ड्राइव, याद है मेरा गाना? हाँ, इस बेकार गले के साथ. भला है बुरा है जैसा भी है, मेरा पति मेरा देवता है. Yes, all the students who remember my lecture. Candida, a beautiful woman in her 30s. One day a lover comes, Eugene Marchbank, says, I love you. She says, I am married. Husband comes, Mr. Morel. Husband and lover have a debate. If you have forgotten it, I believe you remember my lecture of structuralism. When we were dealing with structuralism and talking about post-structuralism, we went for the idea of dialogism. Russian formalism says structuralism का reference और post-structuralist. Dialogism. I took the reference of Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky, Raskolnikov, and I also took the reference of Premchand, his stories, Thakur Ka Kuan, and then I also took the reference of Anton Chekhov's short story Grief, and then I also took the reference of this book. So ये बहुत important book है. Husband and lover both are saying we deserve you, but what is the choice made by the woman? That's an important thing. Read that. Playboy of the Western world. In fact, in my revision class, I taught this thing 2 days back again, dealing with the idea of hero worship. Playboy of the Western world is simply a story of a man, Christy man. He hits his father, comes to a village, tells everyone that I'm a hero, I have killed my own father, becomes the love interest of 2 girls, Pizzine Mike and Widow Quinn. Then we find out that this man was just lying. It is actually a satire on hero worship. And I also told you the political events after this book. This book resulted in riots in Dublin. W.B. Yeats came to defend the writer and said that you people have insulted the Irish genius. This man is an Irish genius. Yes, यहाँ पे भी कहीं देखो आपको लिखा है The play sparked riots. दंगे हो गए थे दंगे. ये तो बहुत अच्छा डायलॉग है. I have never seen a woman taking this much time to get ready with such a little result. Can you use this line for your female friends, female partners, wives? बोल सकते हो कि मैंने आज तक किसी औरत को सजने में इतना समय लेते हुए नहीं देखा जबकि कोई फर्क भी नहीं पड़ा. I have never seen any woman taking this much time to get ready with such a little result. Yes, my dear friends, Oscar Wilde's importance of being earnest. 2 characters, they want to flirt with girls. They get to know 2 girls. These girls, Gwendolyn and एक का नाम कुछ और है, they want to fall in love with Ernest only. These boys introduce themselves as Ernest and a flirt starts. One of the finest story. Also the scene of railway clock room बहुत important है. बच्चे को जमा करा देती हैं अलमारी के अंदर. That's an important thing. Please see that. Those who are watching me first time and know that my throat is not supporting me, you have the subscribe button in front of you. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि सर पुश कर रहे हैं तो yes, हाँ थोड़ा गला खराब है, but this is my duty. एग्जाम नहीं रुक सकता मेरे लिए. The School for Scandal, it's a very important play. Just see this thing. All you have to remember is Benjamin Backbite, Lady Sneerwell के characters याद रखना. Even if you don't read the story, it is okay. But Angelica, Mrs. Prue, Benjamin Backbite, ये characters बहुत important है. You can go for these characters. By Richard Sheridan, you can also read Rivals, Lydia Languish, most important character. You can go for that thing. She Stoops to Conquer. Rajasthan said subtitle was The Mistakes of the Night. So the name of the lady Hardcastle, funny character Tony Lumpkin and the hero Charles Marlowe. It's a very important story. Plus the subtitle Mistakes of the Night was asked in Rajasthan said don't forget this, it is very important. इनके characters के नाम नहीं भूलना. The story of Anna Furling, famously called Mother Courage, running a canteen in the war zone. It is one of the finest work of epic theatre written by German writer Bertolt Brecht, one of the finest work that deals with alienation concept. When I was teaching you this thing in my class, I made you write the songs. पेपर में क्वेश्चन है मदर करेज कौन सा गाना गाती है. आपको मैंने 3 सॉन्ग्स लिखवाए हुए हैं. सो प्लीज जस्ट रिवाइज दैट. और जो बच्चे नहीं जानते वो अब पढ़ लो. 12th night. Don't forget the role of Malvolio. That's very important. Who forges the handwriting of Olivia? Very important. What is the name of the disguise of Voila? Very important. And what is the opening line? So opening line, the music be the food of love, play on. And if you remember, I taught you this thing. The Duke who is in love with Olivia, he doesn't know that his attendant is actually a female. So please remember this thing. Along with this, Malvolio's Puritan character is a very important thing. तो Malvolio का Puritan character मत भूलना. Blood Knot, one of the most famous story that I have taught you. Morris, Jacheria, 2 black brothers, 1 white, 1 black. Black falls in love with a white woman. When white woman comes to meet the black, he says, no, you go and you meet the white brother. Story of, deep-rooted inferiority. बहुत ही जोरदार concept है. This is very important. Don't forget the names of those brothers, Morris and Jacharia. तुम मुझको गुड़िया कहते हो, खेलने वाले हर हाथ को मैं गुड़िया ही लगती हूँ. जी हाँ, मैं गुड़िया ही हूँ. मांग भरो, सिंदूर लगाओ, प्यार करो, दिल में बसाओ. जब दिल भर जाए, दिल से उठा के ताक पे रख दो. तुम मुझको गुड़िया कहते हो, जी हाँ, मैं गुड़िया ही हूँ. Doll's House. Doll's House, one of the groundbreaking work, deals with the story of Nora Helmer, Torvald Helmer, Krogstad, story of blackmail and identity of a woman, plus the way she slams the door. कहानी खत्म होने के बाद वो जोर से दरवाजा बंद करती है. ये सारे important points हैं, जरूर देखना. My dear friends, it was all about my 30 important plays. I know it is a simple presentation, small presentation, but then what I want to say is, yes, it is a presentation. I'm not teaching. ये पढ़ा नहीं रहा हूँ. पढ़ाने में तो मैंने, this is also UPSC, I teach this. It's, every chapter has in-depth questions. But right now, as the time is less, so if you have read these things, it's good. If you have missed some of these things, do it now. Subscribe the channel, stay tuned. और इस तरह के मैंने और बहुत सारे कलेक्शन बना रखे हैं. चूंकि अभी टेस्ट पेपर्स ज्वाइन करने का टाइम तो मैं नहीं है, बट फिर भी आप करना चाहो तो कर लो. पेपर 1 के लिए, पेपर 2 के लिए भी यू कैन जॉइन अस. एंड वंस अगेन, इफ यू वांट टू हैव दिस काइंड ऑफ नॉलेज, आई केम फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल टाउन, कमिंग फ्रॉम अ विलेज लाइफ, from village life to 10-time net, from village life to double JRF, from village life to this confidence of teaching in university at Delhi. I'm going to share each and everything. If you want knowledge, come for Google Drive. If you just want to qualify net and JRF, that is online batch also. Online में भी हो जाएगा आराम से. लेकिन अगर जोरदार knowledge चाहिए, you would want knowledge या फिर confirmation of JRF, Google Drive batch. Now the results will be given in 3 categories. Category 1 JRF, Category 2 net with good marks, Category 3 net with bad marks. Imagine you qualify net with bad marks. Attempt wasted, time wasted. So this is the best time. With me, you will have a surety that my teacher himself is qualified for 10 times. He knows how the paper is formed, what comes. My teacher has taught in University of Delhi. My teacher lives next to JNU. He keeps on visiting it. So you will have a surety about it. आपका future है, आपकी surety के लिए. If you really want to study, join here in Google Drive batch. Numbers are on your screen. If you love the content, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. See you all.